Good, y'all. I'm Jerry. About to check out 10 of the same crowds that didn't let the wrestlers speak. This video is by Wrestling Flashback. I can name on 2 occasions where the crowd didn't let the wrestlers speak after, like, during the promo. Number 1 would have to be recently when Dominic, every time Dominic gets on the mic now, these days, the crowd just would not let him say anything. They will boo him completely out the building. And on the second occasion was when Roman Reigns defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania, and the next night on Raw, he came out at the beginning of the show to cut a promo, and the crowd just booed him for damn near like 20 minutes. And the only thing he could say was, "This is my yard now," and left. He couldn't even have a decent promo. They had to change the script up. So we about to see what Wrestling Flashback has on this list. So let's go. Hop to this video.
Getting heat comes with the territory in wrestling, as heel promos are often met with boos and cheers.
Nice language! Do you teach your children the same talk?
Sometimes a reaction can be
this is my yard
negative, the wrestler can't get their words out.
Yep.
We'll look at various examples today as we highlight 10 times the crowd wouldn't let wrestlers.
Elias got booed too.
Shut! This segment got a time limit, so shut up! Thank you! Thank you!
When it comes to heat, few people got more during the PG era than Vicky Guerrero.
Yep.
Her notorious excuse me.
I forgot all about Vicky having so much heat.
I said, excuse me!
Yeah, a lot of people hated Vicky Guerrero. I hated her back then. Her character, I hated the hell out of that character. She would always let Edge cheat to win every time.
Vicky got some of the most heat of her career on the December 20th Raw from 2010. Here, she and Dolph Ziggler interrupted John Cena, and once Vicky got all the excuse me's out of the way, she went to speak.
I said, excuse me!
However, every one of her sentences would be shot down by the fans, leaving Cena in fits of laughter.
You are not the only one!
I don't even remember that.
Each time the boos got louder and louder. It was absolute gold. The Austin, Texas crowd showed Vicky no mercy.
You are not the only
Well, we just made the all-time Raw.
Roman Reigns received a similar negative reaction
right here.
after he defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania 33. Reigns was already someone
I remember that. This was like
This
2017.
dislike intensified when Roman beat the beloved Undertaker on the grandest stage, especially since Taker had left his hat, jacket, and gloves in the ring following the match.
I thought he was gonna retire after that.
Final match. So when Reigns
Came back the next night, I mean the next year.
Raucous Raw after WrestleMania crowd
Who he faced
ready
that
to let the big dog
the next
handle.
year, 2018.
Every time he lifted the microphone to his mouth, Roman was met with a plethora.
Who the hell did he face 2018?
The reaction didn't let up, leading to Reigns uttering just one line before leaving to get
This is my yard now.
Seemingly retired one of the greatest of all time. This was all the ammunition the fans needed, but with just 5 words.
And to this day, Undertaker hates that match.
This is my yard.
He felt like he wasn't in shape to compete against Roman.
One of the most negative
To keep up with
crowd
Roman,
responses
actually.
ever seen in WWE. Even though Reigns wasn't a heel at the time, and wouldn't be for another 3 years. However, for that one night in
He was a
Orlando,
heel that
Reigns
night.
was the most hated man in the business.
This is my yard now.
Next, we go to another post-Mania
Dominic,
promo.
this was
Dominic
recently.
Mysterio spoke to the world after losing to his father Ray at WrestleMania 39. Dominic had been a great heel in the run-up to the show of shows, so fans were delighted to see him finally get his comeuppance. Now, the people wanted to rub his nose in the loss by not letting him talk.
Yeah.
As Dominic was drowned out by a
They just did that last Friday.
2023 edition of SmackDown.
At
I think was it last Friday or last Monday? They did it last week though.
Thus, they verbally pelted Dom with boos.
I decided not to show aggression towards my dad!
Then came the "You Suck" chants. Mysterio was eventually able to finish his promo after being booed out of the building by the Portland, Oregon crowd.
Know who sucks? A father who lays his hands on his own son!
It was some
Well,
great
please.
heat and a testament to how
You
well
wanted that
Dominic
to
had been
happen.
doing as a heel.
You challenged Ray for weeks, for months really. You provoked him for months and knew he wouldn't hit you until you disrespected your mom.
Edge Edge's return at the 2020 Royal Rumble was an incredibly special moment, as fans were delighted to see the Rated R Superstar back in the squared circle. The next night on Raw, Edge was
I remember that.
attacked by former tag partner Randy Orton. The next week,
That's
Orton
before
looked to explain
pandemic
his
happened.
actions. However, the Salt
COVID
Lake City
hit.
crowd weren't going to make it easy for the bypass.
Pre-COVID.
Fans booed him before he grabbed the mic. Then when Orton attempted to speak, the boos were even stronger.
They booed Randy Orton out the
Hear
building.
what Randy had to say, as no explanation would justify what he had done to Edge the week prior, since Edge had just come back from a career-ending injury, only to nearly have his career ended for a second time.
Last week,
The crowd instead chanted for Edge and directed "You suck" chants at Orton. The Apex Predator ended up just putting the mic down and left the ring.
I can't do this.
It was a clever segment and proved sometimes you don't even need to say anything to cut an effective promo. Sure, it was planned ahead of time, but it was still a smart idea, as each time Randy delayed what he was going to say, allowing the boos to build and build. Orton's assault on Edge spoke 1,000 words, while the fans booing Orton spoke just as much. The attack was still fresh in everyone's mind, with the people at their most upset. Orton took advantage of this by letting the crowd cut the promo for him. Randy later explained his beatdown on Edge in a more traditional but still brilliant promo.
I love Edge more
He RKO'd her.
than you ever could. No.
Orton's
That was
promo
shocking.
an example of how heat can greatly enhance the story, but this wasn't the case for Bayley on the August 7, 2017 episode of Raw. The week before,
Bayley got booed.
suffered a separated shoulder during a match with Nia Jax.
I think I remember that.
Bayley's
Ooh.
right shoulder crashing into the ring.
It meant Bayley wouldn't be able to compete for the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam. Bayley came to the ring for an in-ring interview to give her thoughts on the situation. Right as she began to speak, the boos rang out.
Yeah, it sucks. You guys made me feel a lot better. I saw your tweets and your posts.
She thanked the fans for their support, but the booing continued, which Bayley then addressed.
I don't know who's booing. I want thanking the ones who are not booing right now.
But this only made things worse, with Bayley looking taken aback by the response.
From the WWE Universe.
Damn.
Bizarro World here in Toronto.
The negative reaction for Bayley wasn't just because Raw was in the so-called Bizarro world of Toronto.
I'm gonna put a smile on my face and look forward to coming back.
Why they
It
booing
was
her?
because a lot of damage had been done to Bayley's character during
Yeah,
her feud
it
with
has.
Alexa Bliss. Bayley had lost the women's title in her hometown and was then easily defeated at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view when she failed to use a weapon. Not to mention how badly she was made fun of in the infamous This Is Your Life segment that Chairman Vince McMahon himself buried as one of the worst segments in company history.
Damn.
Bayley, this is your life. Remember that one? That was crickets. Was it Bayley's fault, by the way?
Because of the kind of babyface I was, because of the kind of character I was, I just wasn't seen at that level. That's when it was like, it was just not working.
Bayley's booking and popularity at this time was a far cry from her days in NXT, or even a year prior on Raw, which we'll get into next.
Sasha.
Here we have an example of a wrestler not being able to speak due to a positive reaction from the crowd, as opposed to a negative one.
Really?
This occurred on November 7, 2016, during a segment featuring each member of the Raw Women's Survivor Series team. This included Bayley, who got on the mic and was immediately serenaded by the Glasgow crowd, who sang "Hey Bayley."
Okay.
I'm so excited to be.
The song Bayley is often greeted with when she wrestles in the UK.
Really?
Contingent of Bayley fans here in Cardiff.
Bayley acknowledged
They
the
love
fans
Bayley.
and tried to get back on track with her promo.
That's what's up.
But the people just kept singing.
I've been watching all the shows.
They gotta do the one where since they did the positive stuff, they gotta do the one where
Made a
the
cool
crowd
point
rooted for
to
Daniel
talk
Bryan
about
during like the championship, doing John Cena and Randy Orton's championship unification ceremony.
Once Charlotte got on the mic, as the Queen also couldn't get a word in over the boisterous crowd.
I think that was in 2013, 13 or 14. They gotta do that.
Charlotte was forced to raise her voice, but even then she couldn't drown out the vocal majority.
What are you even saying? These accents are terrible. I will never forget this.
The singing didn't stop until Sasha Banks came out and joined in.
That's my baby.
Be my girl. Wow, that's right.
All in all, it was a vintage UK crowd reaction. The audience sang for so long that the WWE had to edit down their chanting. By the time
Damn.
the show aired, several minutes were cut from the segment.
I don't even remember this. When was this? I don't even remember this.
5 minutes singing for Bayley, which is almost as long as the Seattle crowd booed Elias and Kevin Owens for on the October 1st, 2018.
I remember that.
Elias and Owens were cutting a promo together when Elias mentioned that it didn't make sense to have a basketball team in Seattle.
Yep, I remember that.
Sense, you know, it's like having a basketball team in Seattle.
Referencing the Seattle Supersonics moved to Oklahoma City in 2008. This hit a nerve with the audience as their boos were deafening. The sustained roar lasted for more than 6 minutes.
I remember that. That was breaking news right there, actually, the next day.
And it was over a minute before Owens and Elias said another word after the initial chorus of boos rained down.
Kev, you're gonna have to speak up. These people are being very disrespectful. I said, you know what else isn't my thing? Turn my mic up. They need to hear me.
Despite raising their voices and having their mics turned up,
Who's
KO and
still
Elias
out?
could still barely be heard over the merciless booing.
Seattle ruled everything all the time too.
And y'all like my Bloodline shirt? I got back in
Surreal to hear a crowd boo
January.
that loudly for so long.
the Island of Relevancy.
Keep the spotlight on me.
Had to throw that in there, by the way.
Enzo and Moray were a popular team. Despite never capturing tag team gold, they split up in the summer of 2017.
That was over as hell, especially Enzo.
Several months. The Big Show eventually became involved, leading to a match at SummerSlam where Enzo would be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. 6 days before the
Dumbass
match, Big
stipulation.
Cass came out for a promo during an episode of Raw from Boston, Massachusetts.
This Sunday at SummerSlam, it'll be
What, that Enzo
Cass tried
hometown?
6 times to start his promo, but he was stopped after each attempt by the audience's boos.
this Sunday at SummerSlam. This Sunday at SummerSlam. I'll stay here all night.
He began talking over the boos, which in turn became louder and more sustained.
When I talk, it matters. When you talk, it does not.
It was surprising to see Cass get that much heat. He made the most of it by continuously stopping on purpose, manipulating the crowd and soaking up the boos, before then talking down to the crowd.
Enzo's a funny guy. He's so funny. I mean, I don't get the joke, but whatever.
One Night Stand 2005 was one of wrestling's most memorable pay-per-views,
Yep.
as we got to witness the original ECW one last time. This show was still under the WWE umbrella though, so some of the
They had to
company's heel
restrict it.
wrestlers ended up having a big presence on the show. The SmackDown crew was led by JBL and had reserved seats on the balcony. Bradshaw cut a scathing promo on ECW and its fans. The people responded with loud, uncensored chants and venomous boos. JBL stopped once, but the fans weren't going to slow down. He shouted over the asshole and shut the fuck up chant.
You can be ECW. You, the fat ass in the blue shirt.
It was absolute nuclear.
I see no women out here, and you're chanting about a male organ. Now tell me who's the fruit booty.
JBL was so good
Fruit
here they brought
booty.
him back the next year for One Night Stand 2006, where he once again buried the fans, firing back at the crowd's chants with an all-time funny line.
You paid to see me. I didn't pay to see any one of you. Wasn't even advertised.
Both of his appearances, you could just tell how much fun Bradshaw was having. He was the ultimate bad guy, garnering heat most heels dream of.
I am a wrestling.
Sweet God.
This show sucks.
As we saw with Bayley earlier, if fans are fed up with the character, they'll make their feelings known. Something Ronda Rousey realised throughout her first run with WWE.
Debut
especially
Ronda.
the January 28, 2019 edition of Raw.
2019.
While some fans may have been tired of Rousey as a face, the WWE certainly didn't help matters by sending Ronda out to cut a badly scripted promo, which the fans hammered her for.
Last year, I stepped into this ring for the first ever all-women's Royal Rumble.
You could sense that Rousey wasn't feeling the material that was written for her. She watched on as the crowd chewed up and spat out her every sentence.
I
Damn.
think Sasha made me feel better today than she was just. Alright, you got me to stutter. Good job.
Causing her to pause multiple times.
I think I remember
and
this.
stutter as the boos and
But
chants were
that kind of ran
making her
Ronda off
Any
a little
competitor
bit.
I have ever faced.
All Ronda could do was smile and say things under her breath, no doubt frustrated at the situation. She began to play with the audience before finally being cut off by Bayley's music. Rousey was put in a tough spot, as cold promos talking to the audience like this were not her forte. Ronda was far better later in the show when she had someone to verbally spar with in the form of Becky Lynch.
I could re-break your face faster than you could say Nia Jax.
Damn.
And that brings us to the end of this video.
Alright, y'all, great video, man. Let me know down below in the comments of what y'all thought about this video. And before I leave, it takes a lot of courage and guts to come out every single week in front of hundreds of people in the arena, plus millions of people watching around the world, to cut a promo, a decent sized promo, and to kind of get everything that was scripted particularly right. Also, not trying to mess up your words and not trying to stumble over your words, and also not trying to let the crowd get into your head. So we about to it takes a lot of courage and it's a big ups to those who do that every single week, because public speaking is like one of the worst fears of people have. But overall, man, this was a great video. Let me know down below in the comments on what y'all thought in reaction to this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.